Yeah, this is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go!
Oh, we had so much fun today.
We did. We had some great callers on this morning, Nat. It was awesome.
Well, first of all, we talked about things that can go wrong with your groin. And I thought we'd get a bunch of guys calling in, but it was all the ladies.
I know. Your mini ha-has have gone through it, haven't they? Certain things can be lost in translation. Whether it be a language barrier or whether it just be you trying to use your own bloody language, these are hilarious. There's a story about a cat.
Oh, yeah.
It's truly horrific.
That is so traumatic on every level.
Oh, my God. I can't handle it.
Alan Fletcher will be joining us. Of course, he's Dr. Karl from Neighbours, and Neighbours is winding up this week.
Yeah.
The last few days.
And also, I think we had a really important discussion about the NRL and the Pride jumper scandal as well. I think we should whack that in there too.
Chuck it in.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
We love Daniel Ricciardo. He's a good guy.
God, how quick was he going down Rockaby Road then?
I know, mate. I know. It's like 50, isn't it?
Slow down. That's a 30 zone.
I know. It's a 30 even. Jeez.
30, Nathan.
Wow. All right. Good to know, Sean.
You've been driving up and down that road for the last 12 years.
Tell the CX-9 to go slow. I don't think so. I got it in sports mode.
20 horsepower. I don't know. So, look, he was at the French Grand Prix, right? He finished ninth and he was doing an interview with the press afterwards. Now, he appeared to be trying to pay his teammate Lando Norris a compliment after what was said to be a solid performance by the team.
Yep.
He thought that it would be just a little bit fun for him to speak to the Italian press in Italian.
Good thinking.
Now, unfortunately, he is not fluent, nor...
But his name's Ricciardo.
I know.
He must be.
I know. And he used a word that has a variety of meanings depending on the context in which it's used.
Sure.
For any Italian people right now, wrap your ears around this.
Yeah, Lando.
Sì.
Un stronzo, no?
No, non si dice, dai.
No? Non posso?
No, beh, se ti
Dai.
mettono un beep.
Sì, stronzo va bene.
No, non è
No?
carino.
Stronzo.
Non è carino.
Stronzo?
No.
Is it not a good word?
No, no,
Really?
no, no.
Okay, scusa.
No. It's a bad word.
Really?
Yes.
Like really bad? Okay.
Yes.
Scusa.
More bad than good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stronzo, Nate.
Stronzo translates to a-hole. So he called
that one.
Lando
I'm
Norris
just
an
writing that
a-hole
down.
several times. Several times in an interview. I'm not sure what word he was trying to use, but he didn't find the right one.
It sounds like someone stitched him up, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Like
I
where you
agree.
go, yeah, no, that's the word for
does.
great bloke.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I tell you what, things can get lost in translation. I've got to
It's
tell
true.
you a story about Johnny. We know Johnny, and what happened with his mum. It was actually a traumatic day. So Johnny's grandfather was rushed to hospital, and Johnny's mum went with him as well. And they were really, really worried because he had an infection in his legs.
Yeah, righto.
Right. Now, Johnny's mum is Macedonian and English is her second language, so she hasn't got a complete grasp on it. She's an absolutely wonderful lady, and she was there and she sent a panicked text out to Johnny and the family saying, pray for Grandad, pray for him. The doctors have said that he only has 2 to 3 days to live.
Oh, jeez.
So Johnny, in a panic, gets in an Uber and gets straight down to the hospital just to see what the hell was going on. Johnny was so relieved to find out that she had misheard what the doctor had said because he said it in English, and the doctor had said that her father will be in hospital for 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days.
Important
2 to 3 days to live.
So the whole Pavlov's family are praying.
Well, it worked.
And it went from 2 to 3 days to live to 2 to 3 days time spent in hospital is a big difference.
Jeez,
Yeah,
the
it
Lord
is,
delivered
isn't it?
pretty quickly there, didn't he? The big guy.
Yeah.
Whether you've been craving the ocean, snow, mountains, or city lights, there are so many possibilities for you and your next trip.
Yeah, make up for missed holidays and explore more of Oz with whatif.com.
Jump online or on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
We're talking about when things got a little bit lost in translation after Daniel Ricciardo called his teammate an a-hole without meaning
Stronzo.
to in
Yes,
Italian.
And my best mate's mum thought her father had 3 days to live. And no, he just had to spend 3 days in hospital.
Yeah.
Stronzo.
Johnny's mum's going to be furious with you. Gary's in Elkamos. Hey, Gary.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, good, Gary.
Gary. All right.
What happened?
This is a story about my late mother-in-law back in the UK. It's going back a while. And she had a habit of sort of getting a bit tongue-tied and saying the wrong thing without even realising. And she went to the equivalent of a Bunnings back in the UK, and she was after some dado rail to do some decorating and a wallpaper and that, and mistakenly asked for some dildo rail.
Well, you know what? It is a good thing to hang on to when going up the stairs.
Well, that's it, yeah. But, I mean, luckily it was all taken in good humour. But, I mean, I'll never cry so much.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be so
God.
great. A big tears to
Tell you
your eyes.
what, though, new product range for adultshop.com.au.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? People will be hanging by the walls, Sean.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We are sharing stories of certain things that get lost in translation because languages, they're bloody hard. Darren's in Kinross. Hey, Darren.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good,
Wonderful,
Daz.
Darren.
What happened?
So, I was doing a first aid course a few years back, and obviously you go for all the different scenarios, first aid, and excuse me. We got on to talking about choking and how you sort of help someone if they've got something stuck in their throat and choking.
Yep.
And one guy sort of piped up and he said, "Yeah, someone's choking. What you want to do is hit them in the scrotum." So what he actually meant is you hit them in the sternum.
Was he really matter of fact, Darren, when he said it?
He was dead sure. Obviously, he's got his terminology wrong. So we all turned around and said, "Well, you might want to try that if they're unconscious, but if they're choking, you probably want to hit them in the sternum."
Now,
I reckon it would still work, to be honest.
I'm with you, Nat. Yeah, I think so, Nath. If I
What?
give you a quick whack in the old scrote.
Oh, I know. Definitely 2 balls will be coming out of my mouth.
I think they'd be more concerned if they woke up from being unconscious with a sore scrotum.
Oh, that happened to me once too. That's another story.
That is a concern.
Don't fall asleep at work, Sean. Okay, that's hilarious. Candace is in Mooraloo. Hey, Candace.
Hi guys, good morning.
Oh, hi, sweetheart.
Candace.
All right,
What happened?
What do you got for us?
Well, this was back when my son was about a year old. He'd been unwell for a couple of days and was sort of on the mend. Hubby had gone to work and I was about to go grocery shopping. And when we've gone out to the carport to put my baby in the car, unfortunately, my cat was dead at the front doormat.
Oh.
So I rang my husband, absolutely distraught beside myself, and he's in the car yard with 2 customers in front of him, and he's answered, and he thought I said, "Our son just died."
Oh,
God.
Candace.
And because I didn't want my son to see the cat, I've put him in the car and shut the door, and I'm standing there bawling my eyes out in the driveway, and my husband and his boss work was 5 minutes away. They've raced over together, not seen my son, just see me in the driveway breaking down. And I'm just pointing at the cat, and that's when it sort of all came together.
Oh, my
You're
God.
and they're going, why is the cat dead too?
Poisoned both of them.
What had happened? Why is she worried about the cat? Where's my child?
Candace.
Was he
horrific tale.
traumatized when he got home? What was his state of mind?
He was. He was just numb. And when he sort of pictured what was happening, just this wave of relief. But obviously, he's quite a blokey bloke, my man. He shows no emotion, so it was all internalized.
Oh my God!
Oh, that would have been hectic.
You.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard, Candace. I mean, I'm sorry about your cat.
Oh no,
but
that
that's
is
a
terrible about
story.
the cat. But thank God your son's okay.
Oh.
Jen's in tapping. Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Jen.
Oh, okay. We're
Jen.
loving these, Jen. What have you got for us?
So a few years ago, we were living in South Australia, and we came over to WA for school holidays.
Yes.
And my stepmom's name is Diane. So my kids call her Nana Di.
Yep.
And when we got back to South Australia, my husband took my kids to Kinder Gym, and they talked to the kids and like, "Oh, did you have a good time in WA?" And Matt goes, "Oh yeah, we went over and saw Nana Di, didn't we, guys?" And so these ladies thought that my mum had died. So like 2 days later, I got a bunch of flowers from them. So sorry to hear about your mum, and I had to ring them. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" together and worked out, no.
Nana died.
We went over and saw Nana
died.
die.
Not only did she die, but you made the children
And I was
watch.
like,
Which is,
I said to the ladies, why would he be so upbeat about it? Nana died, didn't we? Like,
The kids must have really hated the
we
grandma.
went over and went to Adventure World. Yes, that's up and about. Like, we went over to watch Nana die.
yeah, we went and saw Nana die, didn't we? So, yeah,
Okay, that is so funny.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
This is the week to party.
well,
Everybody.
party or mourn, Nathan.
No, let's party. It's a celebration.
It's to celebrate everything that Ramsay Street has given us over our entire lives. And we want to welcome to the show the man that we trust with our very lives. He plays Dr. Karl Kennedy, and his name is Alan Fletcher. Hey, Alan.
Good morning, guys. Great to speak with you.
Alan,
It's
hey, how big's
bittersweet.
the week's been amazing, hasn't it? There's been so much promo and so much talk, and everybody's talking about their favourite loved characters over the journey.
They are. They're talking about all those past characters coming back, which the audiences are thrilled by. And we've got this beautiful blend of all the 80s people coming back to finish the show off with us, plus, others from the 90s and the 2000s. Just a glorious celebration of a beautiful show that people have loved for so long.
How does it feel, Alan, for you and, of course, your on-screen wife? How does it feel for both of you to be the reigning king and queen of Neighbours? Because that's what it feels like you are.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. The thing about Neighbours, of course, is it's such an ensemble. It always has been. And, everybody is equal contributors to the show. People who have been on the show for 3 months contribute as much to the program as someone who's been there for 28 years.
Have they, though, Alan? Have they?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they have. I mean, it's really interesting, actually, to see how the work is handed around at Neighbours. It's very evenly handed. People have big stories and then they go quiet for a bit. So it's when the wonderful sense of family that exists in our show is genuine, and it's really, really important to the creativity. It's some of the best work is on air right now. I encourage people, if they haven't seen Neighbours for years, or if they've drifted away from it, come back and watch these last episodes because they're really quite remarkable.
Hey, Alan, do you think you'll be lost in a sense? It's been such a long time that you've been involved with, and I know for us, right, coming to work, we've all been working here for quite some time. You get in autopilot, right? So you just jump in the car and then you know where to be, you do your thing.
You know what your day's going to be like.
So,
interesting that, because for me, I'm going to ease myself out slowly. I do have a Dr. Karl in Conversation show, which I'm doing around the UK for a month in September.
Awesome.
And
Wow.
There's also a huge Neighbours farewell tour, which I'm hoping will also be done in Australia back in March next year, which is a massive stadium-style show. So Neighbours isn't completely finished for people. There will be opportunities to join with us to celebrate the show.
You deserve to milk it, Alan, to be honest. You've put that bigger part of your life into it. You deserve to milk it.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, it means so much to me. It would be tragic, I think, to say, okay, we're just going to put it all in the filing cabinet and pretend it didn't exist. In fact, it's much better, I think, just to sort of finish it off with some great celebrations.
The Dr. Karl in Conversation show, that sounds very interesting to me. So let me get this straight. Because I'm thinking it might keep you busy for a few years. You're handing out medical advice to people, and then there'll be the lawsuits following.
Exactly. Everyone must bring their Medicare card to the show.
He does do bulk billing.
The show is actually 2 10-minute halves with a 2.5-hour interval.
I love it, Alan. Hey, Alan, on that though, playing Dr. Karl for all the years, have you learnt much medical jargon? And do you understand stuff?
Yes, I can say angioblastic T-cell lymphoma and know what it means, but that's about it. See, I've shocked you, haven't I?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, no, it's Alex Kinski had that particular condition and sadly passed away the day that he married Susan Kennedy.
Excuse me. As a doctor, you shouldn't be revealing his medical records. They're private.
That's true. Patient confidentiality. What was I thinking?
I couldn't believe you. You're out of control, mate. No wonder the show's been taken off air. Hey, I want to know, Al, when your storyline of when you cheated, right, on Susan, we know a lot of people that are so into soaps sort of take it to the world of real life. Was there backlash from fans against you during that time?
Oh, I'm pleased to say no, because of course famously the Vivian Gray, who played Mrs. Mangle actually left the show because she copped so much flack for her gossiping. Mercifully, people have seemed to have a good grounded sense of reality about Alan Fletcher versus Dr. Karl. So I've never actually ever received any nasty treatment. Lots of joking treatment though. Young blokes going, legend, and older people waving their finger at me and going, tut tut tut. But it's all in good fun, and I think that's the great thing about shows like Neighbours is the audience gets so into the show, but at least there's all a healthy detachment in there.
Now, Alan, we know obviously Neighbours has been a springboard for many people to go on to amazing things, but the thing that amazed me still is when Eddie Redmayne in his Oscar speech gave a shout out to Neighbours as the inspiration for him. That must have been a fairly amazing moment for you.
It was very, very generous of him. It was actually a Nine reporter from Australia asked him about Neighbours, and he said some very kind words about Jackie and I. And that's incredible of him. When I go to the UK, as I do frequently, in fact, I've just come back. This is the thing, you can be talking to somebody who's a minister in the government, and they go, "Oh, do you mind if I just get a photograph? My wife would kill me if I didn't get a photograph with you." The show permeated every level of British society, and of course here in Australia for a very long time as well. It was so loved by so many people from every different strata and age group, and it's a joy to be part of something like that because it just means that I basically, when I walk down the street, I've got a lot of people who want to say hi and thank you.
You're almost like an Australian cricketer in that sense, Alan, because between here and anywhere in the UK, you're as famous as anybody walking down the street.
Well, that's very nice. I can't bowl, but can't bat, can't bowl. But it's very kind to say. It's a great joy, really, and people underestimate what opportunities a show like Neighbours presents for people, and so many people have gone on to be stars because Neighbours trained them so well that their walk up starts to be very famous.
I've read a lot of articles about the last week of Neighbours, Al, and this one comment underneath the article really got me. It's amazing. This person says, almost every Victorian has been involved in Neighbours in one capacity or another. Even my dog got run over by Margot Robbie in a storyline, of course. It's been fantastic employment for so many. It's sad to see it go. So not only, have you provided entertainment for years and years for Australians, but also
a lot of employment.
It seems like a lot of employment. A lot of locals got behind it.
Oh, you bet. That last day of filming, there would have been 200 people in the studio, I suspect, all of whom were employed by Neighbours to make the show. There's a lot of people tossed out of work, and we shouldn't forget that. And we shouldn't forget just how many great Australian filmmakers, overseas and here, were trained at Neighbours and learnt their craft there, and including the actors and crew. So, it's a very, very special program, and I think it will hold a place in television history forever.
Well, everyone, Natalie Bassingthwaite, Kylie Minogue, Jason Donovan, Guy Pearce, Carla Bonner, Kim Valentine, there's Delta Goodrum, Jesse Spencer, Margot Robbie. The names keep piling up for who is going to be on this last week of Neighbours, so you do not want to miss it.
And the last episode is Thursday night on Channel 10, 7:30. So make sure you're watching. It is a little piece of Australian TV history. And you're a part of it, Alan. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Great pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Good on you, Alan.
Bye, Al.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Guys, you love boats?
Love boats, Nath.
Love being out in a boat now?
I'm a boatie.
I'm ambivalent.
She's ambivalent.
She can swim underwater. Just breathe underwater. It's amazing.
Okay.
I'm like, I like once a year I'll go on a boat. You know what I mean?
All right.
Oh, yeah, I know that year.
All right. Well, Catherine Perkins.
It's a good day though, isn't it, Sean?
Catherine Perkins from Maryland in the US. She likes boats, and she was out on a fishing trip with friends just off the coast of Florida. She was having a wonderful time.
Awesome.
Probably wearing a flowy dress. Or perhaps some white pants paired with a
I think
blue
probably
top.
more white pants, a bit more practical.
You know,
when you're fishing.
Well, it depends what she was doing.
I don't know how heavily involved in the fishing she was. So let's go with pants. I'm glad we've settled that.
I like to put forward that she wasn't.
I think we probably need to talk about it some more.
Well, I know you. You have fishing clothes.
I do have fishing clothes,
and I don't believe they're good pants. And you have painting clothes. There's two different things. You have clothes to do things that require possibly getting dirt and they're not the top of the water stuff. So
I'm prepared for fish guts to get on. So you're thinking what she'd have some dirty old trackies on?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
It's controversial.
It's pretty hot. there at the moment.
It
so,
is. So do you think maybe some shorts, some denim shorts?
Yeah, I think probably some shorts.
Okay, we're going to go with shorts.
A knee-length short.
Catherine was wearing some shorts on a fishing trip just off the coast of Florida. Things took a dramatic turn, guys. She was standing on the boat when suddenly a 45-kilo sailfish leapt out of the water and impaled her in the groin.
Whoa!
I mean,
with its pointed bill. Now, a sailfish, they're said to be around 3 meters. They can reach up to 100 kilos, just like swordfish.
So this was just a small one then?
Yeah, just like swordfish, they feature extended pointed bills. So it's basically like
yeah, it's a machete off the end of your nose.
Yeah, it's like a spear.
Yeah, spear.
Yeah, it's a spear, and it went right into her groin.
Now she's okay, right?
No, she's dead. No, she's okay.
Well, that's the problem. It's the risk of hitting the femoral artery there and bleeding out is very high.
I know, especially for a woman, her femoral artery. Her 2 friends immediately applied pressure to the wound until they docked an hour later, where fire rescue officials attended. She was taken to a local hospital. While her condition remains unknown, she's said to be in hospital recovering. So the 2 friends were trying to pull the fish in on a fishing line to take a photo, because I think you're supposed to release the sailfish.
Yeah, you do in a lot of cases, and they might have been sport fishing at the time as well.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the fisher's side here, though.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you know what? Like, if in order for someone to say, "Hey, Nathan, can I take a photo with you?" they're going to hook something in my mouth and drag me over to them. I'm not going to be happy.
And if you've got a giant knife for a nose, you should be allowed to use it.
Yeah.
Now, knowing that her 2 friends were pulling the fish in, I am going to say they were all wearing shorts.
Okay, I'm glad that
I'm 100% behind you with that comment.
It's the groin, really, isn't it? To be impaled by a pointed fish anywhere would be terrible.
Yes.
But it's the groin area is the one that you go, groin or the brain.
Because if it was just in the leg, we wouldn't be talking about it.
No.
Groin, eye, brain, yes.
Yeah. We want to talk about your groin, right?
Your groin specifically.
What's the worst thing that's gone on in your groinal region? It wasn't fun.
Sean?
I've got some good stories, but here's a couple of bad ones. One guy I played footy with, DB, he was coming back from injury. He had to go back to Perth Football Club in the Waffle to be able to, just get a bit of fitness to be able to play with us the following week. So he was in the ruck contest, and the opposition player accidentally got his footy boot knocked him right in the Jats crackers. Anyway, so DB after the game was in a lot of pain, so they end up taking him to hospital. He ended up spending about 2 weeks in hospital.
Why?
And his balls... I thought I'll have to think about another word. No, I'm just going with it. So anyway, they swelled up like a couple of massive mangoes, and he got his mobile phone, and back in the day he probably had like a Nokia, and he put his mobile phone next to his balls.
So a Nokia 3310?
Yeah, and these mangoes dwarfed the
Nokia 3310, the one where the cover came off.
Yep, and here's the kicker. So apart from them being enormously swollen, he had to have a drain put in.
Oh.
I mean, it's not great, is it?
No.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
45-kilogram sailfish, which is a fish with a long spear as a nose going into your groin.
Whoa.
Would be a bad day, and Catherine agreed. She
was like in her 70s too, Catherine. She's not a young woman.
No.
Yeah.
Carol's in Port Kennedy. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Nathan. How you going?
Good, Carol. We're talking about what a groin could go through in this day and age. What have you got for us?
Well, when in my younger days, we were water skiing down at Maroona Dam.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, he could barefoot, and boat was obviously going very, very fast. And he did a big tumble, and then his testy ended up halfway up into his groin there and bulging out. We were in absolute hysterics on board. We had to pull him on the boat, and we were in hysterics, and he had to lie down and just slowly, just like wedge it down there and put it back into place.
Oh, but wait, it went inside of him?
Yeah, Yes, it actually came right up, like,
Yes.
Oh my God!
So it retracted into his.
You see, I would think what would solve that was, when you got to pop your ears on the plane,
Yes.
you hold your nose.
So
how it's
you
done,
hold the
Nathan.
end of your trunk,
No,
and then you.
you just pinch your nose, and then you pinch down
And
there,
hold
and
your
you
breath and
you
push.
Hey, so
It was hysterical because there was like this ball. It was, just like sitting right up there. It was very, very funny.
Carol, being a good friend, did you offer to help?
Well, no, thank you. He wasn't my boyfriend, so no. Not at all.
Mate, all hands on deck, I
Emergency,
say.
come on.
Oh, just grab hold of something and go.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Jess is in Maddington. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Hey, Jess.
All right, is it your groin that has gone through?
It was my groin.
Hit us with it.
So I was about 20 and I thought I'd try a bit of pre-workout, get my game going for the fitness.
Yep.
Was going really well on the cross trainer, this and that, but I grabbed on the rowing machine and it was one of those ones with the water barrel.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I was going hell for leather on that, and halfway through I slipped off the seat, stomped myself, let out the most guttural cry I've ever let out. They came rushing over. They'd put ice on me from the gym and they'd called me an ambulance.
Oh, my God,
no.
Jess.
I was black and blue. I couldn't sit for about 3 weeks and so embarrassed. I didn't go back.
You were really putting, some effort in on that rowing machine.
That's enough to change gyms, isn't it, straight up? You can never go back.
Oh, yeah, you can never
that
go
girl
back.
that walked out with her legs spread. So did they stretch you out? They stretched you out of the gym?
They did, yes.
Oh, no.
How
It was
embarrassing.
so, I've never been back to a gym since.
Oh, yeah, of course not,
would
Jess.
you?
Yeah, exactly. Very dangerous places.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
We're having an important discussion about things that can go wrong in your groin area.
Yes, not good. A woman named Catherine who was wearing shorts on
We think.
a
Could have been a skort. We don't know.
We don't know.
Is she... Sorry, I didn't know that she was 70.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
what we do know is a sailfish, which is one of those fishes with like the really big pointed nose,
Yep.
like it's like a javelin, went through her groin, and
Yeah.
we thought, well, that's bad. So
Yeah.
people are about to tell us what went wrong with their groinal areas. Hello, Lauren.
Hi.
Hi,
Lauren.
Oh, Lauren.
Was it your groin or was it another person's groin?
No, it was mine, and it was very painful.
Tell us everything.
Great. I mean, sorry, tell us all about it.
You know the metal gates that go around the kids' park?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was about, somewhere between 10 and 13, and I was showing off in front of my friends. And I was like, I'm really good at balancing. I can do this. And I was walking, and I slipped, and I pretty much did the split
Honey, no.
and landed on my groin on the metal gate.
No.
Oh,
Highly recommend not doing it.
Okay,
And then
noted.
did you just sort of slowly fall off the side and hit the dirt?
Yeah, my parents come and pick me up from the park.
Oh.
'Cause it's only round the corner from my house. Oh my goodness, I still remember the pain to this day, and I see kids walking on the gates, and I'm like, guys, get off. It's
Yeah, you
not
know
great.
what's going to... The only worst thing that can happen then is if you had to get taken to the doctors.
Yeah,
Because
and you've got to explain
Oh,
it.
you've got to take your pants off.
Yeah.
What's happened here? No, not good, Lauren. Let's go on to
Thank
Katie.
you. Thank you for your experience,
Yes,
Lauren.
and warning to others. Katie's in Hillary's. Hey, Katie.
Morning, guys.
Hi, Katie.
All right.
Hi, Katie.
What happened to you?
Well, my story is an 80s story.
Yeah. Okay, great. We're there.
Great.
All right.
I was about 18, just sort of got my first serious boyfriend, and it was the 80s, and it was the introduction of the G-string babies.
Yes, okay. Well, they're big at the moment.
What a time to be alive, Katie.
Yes, I was very excited to get my first pair, and I thought, I don't want that white triangle for my boyfriend, I really thought it'd be best to get an all-over tan to wear them.
Yes.
Yes.
So I whipped him off one day at home and went out the back. Had a bit of a big night the night before.
Yeah.
And fell asleep. And I woke up and I've never seen red. So that red, and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And I was in agony, and it ended up blistering. And my dad had to take me to the doctor.
Oh, there we go.
No, it wasn't so. You know when you hurt yourself so much, you have to show your parents.
Yeah, I couldn't walk. But my bits was that they're so sore, and couldn't go to uni or anything. I was that embarrassed with my boyfriend, and then of course, like, I had to bath every night to soothe it. And of course, about a week later,
Yes.
the itch started because
What, you're peeling or something?
I was peeling, yeah.
Peeling in your groin, Nate.
Yeah. So all my bits were peeling, and it was so hard out in public to try and not scratch it. 'Cause it was so
Katie, this has got it all.
Katie.
Got it all. We feel every bit of it too.
That was a journey.
I
Yes,
think
it was.
so far we've had 2 wonderful warnings.
That's great warnings.
These are cautionary tales,
Yes, that's
aren't
right,
they?
everyone. Slip, slop, slap, as they say.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Now, you might have heard, we are taking our show to the streets of Perth thanks to our mates at Pentanet.
Yes, you'll find us in Averley this Friday. We'll be broadcasting live from the Ellenbrook United FC Sports Hub, Nath.
And from that sports hub, we have Brendan with us right now. Hey, Brendan.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Oh, Brendan, we
Wonderful,
are
Brendan.
bloody excited to get our asses to Averley. We've been told that it's just the secret that keeps on giving. Are we right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, a bit of fun. All right. Now, we need to talk about something that's just like screaming at us right now.
Yes.
Averley is where the Ellenbrook United FC Sports Hub is.
That is correct.
Why isn't it called the Averley
Averley.
Sports Hub?
Well, funny enough, it's actually in Averley on Verbana Drive. So,
Hence the confusion.
Yes.
Now, we do know, and we've been told by a few Averley residents, that they do feel like they are overshadowed by the strong scream of Ellenbrook, and they feel like they're a quiet whisper, and yet we've got this controversy sitting here.
100%. Thoughts, Brendan?
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Hey, Brendan, I've been up to Ellenbrook to Bunnings, I believe, one time. Do you have a Bunnings in Averley? Because this is important.
No, we definitely don't. Only in Ellenbrook.
That is rubbish.
It is rubbish.
Yeah.
Not even a mitre 10? Not a mitre 10? No?
No mitre 10.
You can see why you can, as an Averley resident, you can feel like you've been downtrodden.
Do you even have does Averley have its own drive-through, Brendan? Like anything?
Oh, there'll be a Macca's there for sure.
Oh, there's 3 there's 3 around the suburb.
In the
But
suburbs,
are they
though?
in Averley?
Yes, one is.
There's an IGA.
Yes.
Yes. There is. I think you have exclusive hair works.
Well, that's
Which is where
exclusive.
Brendan gets his hair cut exclusively. But you know what? We can talk about what's around the suburb all we want. Let's talk about Ellenbrook United FC Sports Hub. What do you do down there, Brendan?
So currently first team captain. I play at the club. My 10-year-old daughter plays as well as my 17-year-old son, and the wife and I run the canteen currently.
Oh,
All right, now we're talking, Brendan. What's the specialty at the canteen?
Oh, it depends on what day, to be honest. We do Friday night football, and we have curries that a couple of lovely ladies at the club put on for us, and chili con carne, and
lovely.
What?
yeah, like to mix it up. It's good.
What's your
That's
favourite?
outstanding.
What's the winning thing from the canteen, in your opinion? What is the creme de la creme?
Ooh, definitely a nice quiet beer on a Friday night.
Oh, right, so not the sausage roll or anything.
What about like
80s, 80s,
Saturday
no,
morning?
There's no Kalgoorlie sausage roll there.
Oh, damn it.
What about on a rainy Saturday morning, for example, Brendan? What do you say?
The bacon and egg roll, or a ham and cheese croissant.
Oh.
And just to throw it out there, a nice Yahava barista-made coffee is perfect.
Oh, hello.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. One of the things being involved in junior sporting clubs, or sporting clubs in particular, is it is hard to get volunteers all the time. So,
Yes.
Brendan, for you and your family to be able to put your hand up and be involved, has it been a hard journey, or is one you're just really passionate about?
Oh, very passionate about it, and it's something that we're lucky at our club. There's volunteers everywhere, so...
Yeah. And also, Brendan skimmed some money from the till, so it's fine.
Just helps with a gambling addiction, I find.
You can't prove anything, Nathan.
Cash
you
money,
can't prove
mate.
anything. But cash is king.
We cannot blame him. I mean, listen to him. He's doing a bang-up job.
Brendan, who are the arch nemesis of the Ellen Brook United Football Club? Who are your, sworn enemies?
Oh, as playing definitely North Perth United, we've always had lots of...
We never liked them.
Really?
No.
North Perth?
What are they called? North Perth who?
No, North Perth United.
United.
They're United. Oh, can't all be United. Come on, man. Please.
Not like Alan Brook, which is an AV. Hey, Brent, we were throwing this around this morning. We do know that there are certain suburbs around Perth which people of note have come from or perhaps live in. Is there a pride of Averley at all? Is there someone, an Avalian, whatever you call it, Avalarian? Is there one of note that has done something either that has come from there or now lives there at all?
Ooh. You've got me there. Not that I know of.
Wow.
I guess it must be you then, Brendan.
Yes, must be.
Could be. It's one of those things, though, I'd imagine once we do the show there and just open it up to the world, then who knows who could be moving there very shortly.
So we could say that we're doing the show on Friday, and if you think that you are the pride of Averley, you should come down and register, and then we can actually
definitely shout out.
We can find the pride of Averley. How exciting would that be? The person in Averley that has achieved the most important thing.
Yeah, I like to hear from them. Yep.
And so far Brendan's winning for stealing money from the canteen.
And on a side note, the chili con carne on a Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. Never forget.
Good on you, Brendan.
We're very excited to come down, Brendan.
We are.
It's going to be a good morning.
Look forward to seeing you guys.
No worries, buddy.
Thanks for your time, man.
Everyone.
It's all happening on Friday.
We're going to be there where I'm trying to wrangle a few special guests at the moment. We're just seeing how that goes. They all go, where's Averley? We say Alan Brook. We're going to have some games down there. There's going to be some food, possibly the chili con carne. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Free stuff, plenty of surprises. And anyone can come on down.
That's right. Everybody's welcome.
Come down. It's open house.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Well, the NRL's back in the media for all the wrong reasons, and this time it's the Manly Football Club. It's alleged at this present time, we're not sure if this is actual factual, but they're saying up to 7 players could be missing from Thursday night's must-win game against the Sydney Roosters because the club have gone down the route of changing their jumper or adding some colour to their jumper, which is the rainbow colours, as an inclusiveness to the general community. There's obviously players who are with Islander backgrounds that are part of the Manly Sea Eagles, and they have very strong Christian faiths, and they're saying they hadn't been talked to about this in any way, and this was just put upon them, and therefore that a lot of them don't feel comfortable at this point in time.
Look, my opinion with this is just stop whinging and put on the jumper. Like, what is the problem with being inclusive? And it really, really grinds my gears when people hide behind religious beliefs to say things like that, because from my understanding of religion, and that is most religions are promoting you to love everybody, accept everybody, and then when you publicly do something like this, what it does for any fan of this code who is from the LGBTQI community, it says that we do not play for you, we do not stand for you, we do not align with you. You are not for us. And it really is, I don't know, I just think, like, does it really matter? And especially, I mean, some of the backgrounds and the ethnicities of some of these players, I'm sure they've gone through their own experiences of exclusion.
Yeah.
And then for you to go through it personally yourself and then exclude somebody else on something that if you're from the community that I'm from, you're born this way. It's not your fault. It's not a choice. And it's not something to be ashamed of. And to have a shame attached to it, I think, is so disappointing and distasteful. What do you think, Nat?
Well, I think importantly, it's 2022. I can't believe we're still having these conversations.
Seriously.
These are attitudes from the 1950s. And I would have thought that as a society we had evolved past it. It's just ridiculous. I mean, credit to the Manly Sea Eagles for apparently they're the first team to actually embrace this as a concept of putting the rainbow on the jersey as a sign of inclusivity. But yeah, for these players, and a few of them have apparently backflipped now and said that they will wear it. But it just, the fact that we're even talking about it beggars belief.
You know what?
Now, I think it's important, though.
If it was bumless chaps or mesh hot pants, I get it. These are two little strips.
I don't agree with you there.
That's all Sean would demand to play in, and he's upset that they never put it in his contract. But it's just the two little white strips, isn't it? Which has just got some rainbow colours on it.
Well, it's got some rainbow colours through there. Yeah. I think, Nat, to back up on, I know that we're talking about that now, but I don't think it's a shared community thought, or certainly I think we have moved in a great direction, and I believe we are talking about a minority of people that exist still in our community. That's my opinion. I think it's well and truly.
We're giving a lot of airtime to a tiny minority.
I think that's what we do in a lot of things. Yeah.
But okay, and this point's been made, and I think it's very, very important point. The Sea Eagles' major sponsor is gambling company PointsBet, while their home stadium, Four Pines Park, is named after an alcoholic brewing company.
Yeah.
So if you're really going to stick to the word of the Bible, their sins.
Yeah, I saw that on news.com. Yeah, that article.
So, I mean, sorry, you can't pick and choose what suits you at certain times. Either you go by the book or you don't go by the book.
Well, there's one thing that they were talking about is that, so the club's marketing department are the ones who just put this out there without it getting, without the conversation being talked about at any stage on a board level or anyone else at the club, which is really strange. It's not their job to just decide this is what we're doing. This is Paul Kent, though, from NRL 360. So this is a show that a lot of people watch, and this is his thoughts on the situation.
This talk about inclusion. Wearing the Manly jersey for me is inclusion. The Manly jersey is there for everybody to wear. There's no prejudice, there's no biasing against anyone. Ian Roberts showed that 25 years ago when he came out as a gay man and wore the Manly jersey. But to inflict their own political views onto players who may not share that and are now being forced to deal with the consequences of that is a real oversight from the Manly club, and it's something that they should be embarrassed about.
So he's sticking up for the players there. I don't agree with him at all.
It's very strange that he considers that a political view.
Exactly.
It's a human view. You're talking about people.
I mean, imagine the uproar if it was against an Indigenous round jumper, you know?
Well, there would be, Nathan.
There'll be uproar.
Yeah. And there should be.
That's a very interesting statement coming from a straight white man.
It's not a political statement.
Yeah. But I would say that everybody is, apart from some of these people who shouldn't be speaking like that on national TV in front of a massive audience, everybody is having a go now back. Yeah. And I think it's starting to change the opinions. And Manly, as you said, Nat, some of these players are going, oh, no, hang about, we're going to jump on the jump and we're going to be playing this.
He brought up Ian Roberts there. How long ago was it that he came out?
Yeah.
And there's not been a single other player since.
Yeah.
Now, he can't be the only one.
No.
Oh, yeah.
He's publicly spoken out to and said that he's very disappointed about it.
Don't you worry about that. Well, look, I just think that, you know what, you think about the times when you were growing up and you were like, oh my God, I'd love to play for the Manly Sea Eagles, and then finally you get your position and now you're making all this amazing money and you're doing the thing you love. Put on the bloody jumper. Get a grip.
Yeah.
I know.
Get a grip. Look where you are and go, okay, you know what, I'm living a pretty amazing life, and for one game to maybe include people that feel ostracised or perhaps less than because of views, like in codes like this, perhaps, I'm not sure. Let's just be inclusive.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.